Don't you guys love Legos? They're small little blocks at first, but when you put them all together, there's something functional, something you can play with. It's amazing. Segueing into our topic today, Nintendo Labo. Now what is Nintendo Labo? Well, a couple years ago in 2017, Nintendo released a little passion project known as Nintendo Labo. A bunch of cardboard that you take out, read the instructions, and build into, well, anything ranging from bugs fighting each other to that's a giant robot made out of cardboard. With a kid wearing cardboard. Okay then. So yeah, that was Nintendo Labo, and it did okay. Not bad. Not too bad. A lot of complaints came in that, it just wasn't that interesting, but Nintendo already had this whole Nintendo Labo thing set in their minds. They were going to make it. So they're still making Nintendo Labo to this day, with recently announcing this VR kit, which, it looks pretty interesting. We don't know much about, but seems interesting. One thing that slipped under everyone's radar, though, and Nintendo advertised horribly, was this puppy, the Nintendo Labo Vehicle Kit. Now, I didn't even know this thing existed until I randomly got it for Christmas this year, so... Or, would you consider it last year? That's not the point. So I got this last year for Christmas, and today we're going to be testing it out and answering the question, is Nintendo Labo worth it? Let's find out.
Alright, let's boot this thing up, and wow. That's a lot of variety. Well, alright then, let's make something. Yeah, so they give you this cute little demo of how to make things, and it's relatively easy. And bam, already done in 10 minutes. Wasn't that hard. I bet we could probably do all of the machines in about like an hour, so yeah, let's do them all right now.
What time is it? Oh look, these things are done. Cool. Well, time for the actual point of this. Playing with these things. Somehow. Yeah, I don't know how these things work, but we're going to figure out, so... Woo!
Yeah, so this took a bit longer than expected, but whatever. They're done, ready to be played with now. So let's start with one of the coolest of all the creations. Hey, you there! Boy, you deaf rat. Yeah, that got your attention. Have you ever wanted to drive a car, but the police told you can't be in a 10-mile radius of one? Well, no worries, now introducing the Nintendo Labo car. Just pop the key in, put the pedal to the paper, and let it roar. Get yours today for only the low price of $69.99. Yeah, it's very obvious Nintendo liked this car. So much that about half the games are made just for this car. And I have to agree with them there, since the car has so many things to it. It's got knobs, lever, the little pulley thingy, even a horn. And it controls just like a real car. At least I think. I'm still not allowed near one. Anyways, I guess I'll introduce the other two vehicles now. Alright, here's the submarine. You twist these little wheels to move and hit the button occasionally, and that's all there is. And here's the plane. You move the stick around to move, and you press the trigger occasionally. Yeah, it's very clear Nintendo put a lot more into the car than any other Toy-Con. But I guess they just can't release the car on its own, so they had to slap two other vehicles with it and call it a kit. Not that the other two vehicles don't have anything creative about them. The plane being able to move by moving the handle itself is super cool, and the submarine, yeah, this one's lame. They aren't really used to their fullest potential in the only mode they can be used in, the adventure mode. Now, I'm not saying the adventure mode is bad. It's got plenty of unique things in it for each individual vehicle, and plenty of stuff to do in it overall, but it's just kinda bland. There are 10 different areas in the world, but each one is kinda small and kinda blend in with each other, making them stand out less. Also, the submarine literally only has one section it can actually do anything in. Yeah, at this point I think even Nintendo knew no one would like this thing. Now, the plane can be used anywhere and is quick and easy for traveling, but it's hard to be precise with, and I normally just end up switching to the car mid-fall so I can get to the next gas station without too many problems. Which brings up another thing about the adventure mode, your gas meter. The gas meter is annoying. It has no purpose besides preventing you from traveling all the time and forcing you to stop and fuel up your vehicle every once in a while. And sometimes I don't want to fuel up my vehicle because I'm trying to do a task, but nope, gotta go stop what I'm doing and go hunt down the gas station before I run out of gas. But if we put aside those minor problems, the adventure mode isn't that bad. Ain't no Breath of the Wild, but it'll do. Anyways, now time to throw these two vehicles away because everything else revolves around the car. And I guess the pedal and the spray can. So let's go through the oddballs first, the pedal and spray can. So the pedal has its own game called Slot Cars, which is basically a sensitivity game where you drive around a slot car track and do the same thing you do in every car race. Go fast and straightaways, slow down for the turns. That's it. That's the whole game. Innovation at its finest. I mean, I guess I can say, yeah, there's a bunch of different tracks. You can race against some CPUs or race against a friend if they have a pedal of their own, but besides that, that's kinda it. Now for the paint can. Yeah, this thing is weird. And so is its game, because it's not even a game. It's just customization. Poor customization. Yeah, they give you a variety of colors. Too bad I can never put them where I want. I swear to God, the NES Zapper had better tracking than this thing. I can never get the spray can to go where I want, and I end up with some disaster that reminds me of Vanellope von Schweetz's car. But whatever. Time for some more actual games. First we have Circuit, a first-person car race which is pretty boring. I mean, yeah, it's a fun gimmick the first few times, but it gets boring quick. They have different speed settings if you want to make it more intense, but the stages themselves are just dull for me and don't make me feel really excited while playing them. The only one I kinda like is the Atom stage, which is pretty fun. Anyways, next we have Rally, and okay, yeah, the plane and submarine are in this one, but I don't care since I hate this mode and I wish it didn't exist. All it is going through these rings on the giant adventure map we saw earlier while having a time limit. And you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't sound too bad, and yeah, you're right. It's not too bad, but time and time again while playing this, I keep losing track of where the rings are supposed to be since the only directions given are these vague signs pointing you in the right direction, which are helpful, but they can only get you so far. I say if they're going to have any arrow showing you the way, it should have just been like some directional arrow right above your head pointing you in the right direction the whole time instead of just these little signs off to the side which point you in the general area of the ring, but sometimes if you go a little too far off to one side, you might completely miss the ring and you gotta go do the whole level over again to find it. And time for the final game, Battle. And you can probably guess what we do in this one. That's right, golf. Alright, yeah, it's an actual battle game. And it's not that bad actually. The maps are generic, but have slight features of them that keep you on your toes while playing, and there's even a stage where you can customize using the scanner thingy and the right Joy-Con. There are also power-ups that are fun to use, and that add a little more wackiness in the battle. Alright then, let's get a friend to play with us, and we can have a good time. Wait, what? Yeah, it turns out we can't actually play with someone unless they also have the Labo car. Which makes sense, but just kinda seems like a paywall for more fun. Now there is actually a way you can play with other people, which I'll bring up in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about a bunch of fun ideas I had for this, so just go with me here, okay? What if for the two-player mode, instead of needing two cars, you could have one person in the car, one person in the plane, and since the car has so many more gadgets and the plane's more simple, the car has the advantage on the ground still, but the plane, since it's airborne, has the advantage that way. So, you know, they're both equal in a certain way, which makes it more of a fair battle and more of a fun battle instead of just two cars with fists duking it out over and over again. I mean, they even have a second key you can build for the plane, so I don't see why they couldn't have done that. And if they really do want more people to buy the vehicle kit and make it worthwhile, what if for the battle mode, you had two switches hooked up together with two people on the opposite sides with their vehicles, and you had it like the circuit mode where it's first person and you can throw your fists out the side and everything, and it would be kind of like ARMS, but not, because it's vehicles. So yeah, I guess that's kind of unique, and it would be really fun. You know, because In the circuit mode, you can only follow that one track, but having first person driving around like that seems like so much fun. Well, that was all the games. Now for the one section I care the least about, the Discover section. All it is are these 3 people I don't know or care about that are telling you a bunch of information about stuff you can do in Nintendo Labo. But there are 2 things at the bottom of the screen that are pretty neat. The Toy-Con Garage and Custom Controls. The Toy-Con Garage allows you to program your Joy-Cons to do certain things, and you can also use the Switch to do certain things also, which gives Labo a lot more possibilities to be used with if someone wants to spend the time coding all that stuff, if you even want to call it coding. But now we have the Custom Controls, which is something special. It's for the person that wants to play Labo games without actually making the Labos, which does actually give you the ability to play battle mode with someone without having 2 Labo cars. Also, I guess if you find any of the controls annoying, you can just use the controller instead of the Toy-Cons now, but it does get rid of the special feeling of using the Toy-Cons. There's something about using a cardboard box that looks like a machine and functions like that machine that makes me want to use them. Which is probably why anyone bought Nintendo Labo. You can build something and it comes to life on your screen. It's just kind of cool.
So, do I think Nintendo Labo is worth it? Maybe? I don't know. Nintendo Labo has a lot of ups and downs with it. Like, when making it, there's a lot of personality put into a lot of the lines and had me laughing a couple times while reading them. But then while playing the games, a lot of them felt lackluster and felt like I kind of just wasted my time making all of those, knowing that I could have just programmed the controllers to do the same thing. But like I said, they have a feeling to them. You know, the fact like, wow, I made this as wheel that looks like a car and now I can drive it like a car. You know, just something like that, kind of fun and kind of like the Toys to Life craze that happened like a couple years ago. But anyways, I feel like Nintendo's going to have to think a lot about this VR kit if they want this thing to do well, because it's shown that Nintendo Labo has potential, but they gotta use that potential if they want it to go anywhere. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That is all, and goodbye.